remote mic.
Connected to the, yeah, connected to the, yeah, 224, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so now lock it now. Hold the key. There's a key there.
Yeah, hold to lock, yeah. It's locked now.
Hold to lock. So I'm sure now it's connected.
So, I mean,
you can tap it and see the camera. Once I'm on the camera, you tap the mic.
Yeah, that's fine. So, I mean, if I speak, can people hear on?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, are you able to log in?
Yeah, I'm logged in already. Just go ahead. I was going to talk to you.
So, the sound is okay? Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So let me close mine one. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry. I do not know. Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's coming from.
So, yeah, I mean, because I have never operated this.
Yes.
Today, our manager is not here, so we miss all this. That's fine. So the next hadith, we are here now on 158. حدثنا محمد بن سلام قال أخبرنا محمد بن فضيل عن مغيرة عن أم موسى عن علي صلوات الله عليه قال كان آخر كلام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلاة والصلاة اتقوا الله فيما ملكت أيمانكم. So the last wording which shows the preoccupation of our Prophet, beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was that we should establish prayer, 5 prayer, and of course all the 5 pillars, and ittaqullaha fima malakat aymanukum. So be observant of Allah in relation to dealing with our subordinates, and at that time most subordinates were the slaves, in regards to your slaves. But today we don't have 100% slaves, but we have our subordinates and our people under our working with us, and these people should really be treated fairly and nicely with all the fear of Allah and like humanely. So these 3 ahadith were all related to be a good boss and good in charge of the people and treating the subordinates and people under our control and under our in charge properly. The next chapter is chapter 83 on being a bad owner. So after giving good points, positive points about being a good boss and good in charge, now what is the punishment for those people who behave badly and hurt or torture or mistreat their subordinate? حدثنا Abdullah ibn Salih قال حدثني معاوية ibn Salih عن عبد الرحمن ibn جبير ibn نفير عن أبيه عن أبي الدرداء أنه كان يقول للناس نحن أعرف بكم من البياطرة بالدواب قد عرفنا خياركم من شراركم أما خياركم الذي يرجى خيره يؤمن شره وأما شراركم فالذي لا يرجى خيره ولا يؤمن شره ولا يؤتق محرره. Ajib. There is another 2 hadiths related to like being bad behaving boss. حدثنا إسحاق بن خالد قال حدثنا حريز بن عثمان عن ابن هاني عن أبي أمامة سمعته يقول الكنود الذي يمنع رفده وينزل وحده ويضرب عبده. In Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says إن الإنسان لربه لكنود. So that tafsir is here, that kanud, what it means. Inshallah, I'll translate. Last hadith in this chapter is being bad boss. Is حدثنا حجاج بن منهال قال حدثنا حماد بن سلمان علي بن زيد عن سعيد بن مسيب وحماد أن الحسن البصري أن رجلا أمر غلاما له أن يسنو على بعير له فنام الغلام فجاء بشعلة من نار فألقاها في وجهه فتردى الغلام في بئر فَلَمَّا أَصْبَحَ أتى عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله تعالى عنه فالذي في وجهه فأعتقه. So these three hadiths are all to deal with the situation when someone misuses their authority with people. So Abu Darda radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, we know you, O people, I know you better than the veterinary surgeon knows the animals. Like with animals doctor knows the animals. So I know human beings better than a veterinary doctor. So this is Abu Darda radhiyallahu ta'ala, a very famous Sahabi. He said, we recognize the best of you from worst of you. So how do I measure the quality of the people? Yeah, how good people and bad people. So the best of you is the one whose good is hoped for and whose evil you do not fear. So the criteria for good person is that people are not afraid of you and they expect good things from you. So this is so it's like people's expectations will determine your status of being good or bad. Amma khiyarukum, as far as the worst of you, that is the person whose good is not hoped for and whose evil you fear and who does not let go of slaves he set free. There are three criteria for understanding or judging the people who are worst. Nobody expects any good from you and they are all afraid of your anger, your temper or things like that. That is the sign that you are the worst of the people. And the last sign is that even if you set your slave free, they do not feel free. They are still under your control. So that is the type of people who are the worst of the people. This is a saying of Abu Darda radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, a Sahabi, that I know, like sociologically, I know how people are, who are good people, who are bad people. Next hadith is Abu Umama said that ingratitude is typified in someone who refuses to give, who lives alone, and who beats his slave. So these are the three signs of being bad person, which is like who is unthankful to anybody. So that's why there is a hadith that those who cannot say shukriya and thank you, they will not be thankful to Allah also. Those people who do not say thank you to the human beings, they are not good. They most probability never say thank you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second criteria for being bad boss and bad person is who lives alone, he doesn't share anything from his things with others, like he lonely person. Yeah. وَيَنْزِلُ وَحْدَهُ, and whenever he travels or lives, he lives alone. Third thing is the one who beats his slave, like who administers like corporal punishment on their subordinates. This is the worst type of the people. The last hadith, which is Hasan al-Basri. So all these three quotations are from Sahaba and Tabi'een. Yeah. So Abu Umama Sahabi, Abu Darda Sahabi, and third is Hasan ibn al-Basri, who is Tabi'i. He says that a man ordered one of his slaves to draw water using one of his camels. Yeah. And the slave went to sleep. So like he asked his slave to irrigate his farm through taking water from well through camel. Then he may have been tired and he fell asleep. So when the master came and saw him, his slave, he came with a burning brand and threw it on his face. So he just made him be awake by very worst type of the things, horrible things. And slave fell into the well. So because he was sleeping on the well, and he fell inside the well, and then he must have been rescued. Then in the morning, the slave went to Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, as he was a caliph, and he saw what has happened to his face. His face was really burned. So for that, he set him free. So Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu ordered that if you mistreat your subordinate, you lose your control. So he has to be set free. And there are many other ahadith which are coming that at that time the slavery, the in-household slaves used to be, and people used to feel power and used to mistreat them or punish them or reprimand them in very sometimes worse type. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam always said, if you mistreat your subordinate, you have to set them free. You have to lose the control of them. So Bay'ul Khadim min al-A'rab, on selling the slave to Bedouins, mean disposing of your subordinates. حدثنا سليمان بن حرب قال حدثنا حماد بن زيد عن يحيى بن سعيد عن ابن عمرة عن عمرة أن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها دبرت أمة لها فاشتكت عائشة فسأل بنو أخيها طبيبا من الزط فقال إنكم تخبروني عن امرأة مسحورة سحرتها أمة لها فأخبرت عائشة قالت سحرتيني فقالت نعم فقالت ولما لا تنجين أبدا ثم قالت بيوها من شر العرب ملكة. This is an incident which I even didn't know about the life of Sayyidina Aisha Ummul Mu'minin radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. She lived 50 years after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She lived and taught people for 50 years. And she had like hundreds of students coming to her. So once she fell ill, so ill that the whole Medina was concerned about the health of Ummul Mu'minin, my Aisha radhiyallahu ta'ala. So then some of the relatives of Sayyidina Aisha went to a doctor who was like in Arabic it's called Zut, but here is saying that a traveling doctor, a visiting doctor was there in Medina, and people of Medina were very, very concerned the health of Sayyidina Aisha radhiyallahu ta'ala. So this doctor told them, you are asking about your famous lady Sayyidina Aisha? She has been done with magic. Somebody had done magic on her, and it is her own slave lady, slave girl. She has done the magic against her own master. So this is the other way around. So, and in Arabia there was a tradition that if they needed the servant and the slave, men and women, they will say, okay, once I die, you are free. After my death, you are free. You are not like a part of my family asset. So this is called mudabbar. So Sayyidina Aisha, she used to buy slave and set them free, but she kept one small servant for herself, but still she wrote that after my death you are free. So what this slave lady did, she said, I want to be free early, so she did some magic on Sayyidina Aisha, on Ummul Mu'minin. So she fell ill. But then they found out, and Sayyidina Aisha asked her, why did you do to me? Did you do? She said, yes, I did, because I wanted to be free now instead of after your death. So then Sayyidina Aisha really became very, very upset, and she said, okay, send her to the suburb. She doesn't. So she was sold to Bedouin who live outside the Medina in harsh conditions. So that is like sometimes not only the masters, but even the subordinates, they can be dealing unjustly with their masters. That's what happened in there. like, we all know Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu was killed while leading Fajr prayer. Who? By a slave. A non-Muslim slave. He was hiding in the mihrab, and at the Fajr time, he used his dagger to kill Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab Radhiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. And there was some incident. So this may happen that subordinates also, they commit crime against their master. So anybody who is either master or slave, if they commit anything against, if the master does something to the servant, or servant does something to the master, it is reprimandable. Yeah. Babul Afwi Anil Khadim. So we are still dealing with the household and boss and subordinate, employer and employees relationship. So this chapter is forgiving the slave. If they make human mistakes, if they fail to do something, we should really accept their excuse and forgive them. So حدثنا حجاج قال حدثنا حماد هو ابن سلمة قال أخبرنا أبو غالب عن أبي أمامة قال أقبل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم معه غلامان وهب أحدهما لعلي صلوات الله عليه وقال لا تضربه فإني نهيت عن ضرب أهل الصلاة وإني رأيته يصلي منذ أقبلنا وأعطى أبا ذر غلاما فقال استوصي به معروفا فأعتقه فقال ما فعل قال أمرتني أن أستوصي به خيرا فأعتقته. Next hadith 164 حدثنا أبو معمر قال حدثنا عبد الوارث قال حدثنا عبد العزيز عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قدم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المدينة وليس له خادم فأخذ أبو طلحة بيدي فانطلق بي حتى أدخلني إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا نبي الله إن أنسا غلام كيس لبيب فليخدمك قال فخدمته في السفر والحضر مقدمه المدينة حتى توفي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما قال لي شيء لما صنعت هذا كذا ولا قال لي لشيء لم أصنعه ألا صنعت هذا كذا. So Anas ibn Malik is very famous Sahabi. We will share how he is describing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was his like a under whose guidance he was like a servant to Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think from 10 to 20 he served Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Rasul an Abi Umamah qala akhbarana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was had two slaves, and as a like a treasury, as a control, that it was given or came as assets. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam distributed them among the people of Medina. So he gave one slave to Abu Zar and another slave to Ali Razillah Ta'ala. Ali Razillah Ta'ala didn't have, he was himself doing all housework, and Sayyidina Fatima Razillah Ta'ala is very well known that she used to do all her housework. And in Arabia, having a home servant was like an average requirement. Only extreme poor people will not have any servant with them. So everybody had a slave for outdoor work and hard work and things like that. So Sayyidina Ali Razillah Ta'ala was given from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Abu Zar. But Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told them, look, Ali, treat these very well. Yeah, treat them. And I saw him praying prayer. So don't reprimand or hit him. Yeah. So that is the instruction Rasulullah gave to Ali Razillah Ta'ala. And the other slave he gave to Abu Zar Razillah Ta'ala anhu, and also said, treat him very well. So what he did, Abu Zar Razillah Ta'ala set him free. Okay, you are free. I don't want to keep you, and you can have your own affairs. So these are the two saying that our Prophet ﷺ encouraged them to be like a good masters, good carers of their subordinates. So the last hadith, which is Sayyidina Anas ibn Malik radhiyallahu anhu said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came as a alone, leaving Makkah to Medina with Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, and he had no other family member with him, and he had no servant, of course. So Abu Talha Ansari, he took his 10-year-old son Anas. He said, "This is a very clever boy. Ya Rasulullah, accept him as a servant to you." So Anas ibn Malik was regarded as a household. So in Safar, in Hadar, in Medina, and everywhere he served Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now he is describing all the 10 years Hazrat Sayyidina Anas served Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never said that why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? So like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam treated Anas like his own child, and never reprimanded him any harshly. So that is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's time. Yeah. So how do I close? I don't know really. Today our manager is not there, so I don't know how to close. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.